Hello there, welcome back. I am going to bring you a full planty update today. I'm going to take you around my entire collection and share how the plants are doing. I think I will start here in my plant room first. It's where I have a lot of my bigger plants, a lot of my main plants, and then I will go down that way next. That's where I have a majority of my other plants. I do have a pretty large collection, so it's going to be a lot to get through. Hopefully we can keep this around the hour 15 mark. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. I have this netting up still from when I had ladybugs in here recently, but I'm gonna leave it up because I'll probably do ladybugs again. But yeah, we're gonna sneak in here. It is very bright this afternoon, so hopefully the sun doesn't play with me and my camera too much while I'm in here filming. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started in here and show you, around. I will say that the moss poles I have not chopped yet. I was gonna do it slowly, but you know what? I'm just tired of the moss and trying to water them. I had made a whole video about why I'm not liking moss poles anymore and everything, so yeah, I don't want to touch on them too much, but I'll go ahead and just share how they're looking now. One last glimpse of all of them and their huge, beautiful leaves. I think I will be saying goodbye to a couple of them and no longer grow them, but I'll share more whenever I go to do this. I will film a video and make a video on me taking down my moss poles. So I want to like commemorate them and at least have a video so I can remember, how they all looked and everything. So I will share that process with you. You guys see big Monstera adansonii back there in the corner. Some of the lower leaves are a little bit yellow, crispy, just from underwatering stress. She has a new leaf here in the middle that is freaking humongous. I wish you guys could see like the size of these leaves. It's really hard to grasp how big they are like in person. It is huge. It did bloom for me, last year. So this will probably be the last pole that I end up taking off because I don't really want to jeopardize this plant. I do really love her. She is such an old plant and, she's grown massive, but yeah, she is just insanely beautiful. You can't really see this one down here next to Monstera adansonii, but it's my Monstera esqueleto. I had this plant really huge in my collection and it still has some pretty big leaves. I think I will be saying goodbye to Monstera esqueleto though. I haven't decided. I just feel like it's too big of a plant to have. Like I would rather keep Monstera adansonii versus my esqueleto. So yeah, I think that one we're going to get rid of completely. And then you guys have seen my huge marble queen. I am going to be chopping this one and putting it on a stake. I'm probably just going to do that top section there. I've underwatered her so many times. You can see there's actually fertilizer still in there from 2 days ago. Like it won't drain because it's that compacted. And it's just such a pain to water these poles once the moss gets to this stage, and that's my issue. I just don't have time to come in here every day or every other day and water all these moss poles. So the moss unfortunately gets to a state where you can't really water it very easily. I can still look back and enjoy this beautiful plant and what I was able to grow her to, and who knows, maybe she'll still continue these big leaves while just being on a stake. These two back here in the middle or in the back there, we have Epipremnum pinnatum albo and then my Epipremnum cebu. Epipremnum pinnatum albo has been dormant all winter. It does have a growth point, it just has not done anything. So I think I am going to be taking this one all the way off. I'm not going to grow it, and I'm going to keep my cebu. I do like this one more, and I will transfer that one to a stake. This one was dormant all winter for a while too, but it has pushed out some new leaves recently that you can see here. This one has some pretty nice fenestrations. But yeah, some of these leaves here have gotten a little sad, a little yellow, crispy, just from the constant underwatering. This is Philodendron gigas. So I do have this plant climbing, but it's not on a moss pole. It is just on an empty pole, so clear, nothing in it at all. It's not rooting into here. It's just using this as support. And I've gotten some pretty large leaves. Like this leaf here is pretty big, size to my head. It is working on a new one. And there's really nothing I need to do. I probably honestly need to upsize it soon. It is drying out fairly quickly. It's in, I think this is a 5-inch. So I'll probably upsize this to like a 7-inch. I really like this philodendron. It's been pretty easy going so far. That one got kind of torn as it was unfurling. But yeah, I'm happy to have these plants grow without being on a moss pole because I can just come in here, water the base like normal. I don't think these plants are going to get to be huge in my collection unless I just, you know, do a top cut and then replant it. And then what I usually do is chop up the rest of the plant and then I'll keep the top section for me growing. So I might do that for some of these because I really do enjoy these big leaves. I feel like there's only so many big plants that I can have and maintain in my collection. But yeah, this one is very beautiful. I love the velvety leaves and everything to this one. Yes, I recommend this one over Melanochrysum. I struggle with Melanochrysum. I gave up on that plant. It was one that I just couldn't get to grow. So if you like these velvety phyllos, try your hand on a gigas. Next up, we have these 3 philodendron here. We have philodendron sorderoy, which has grown huge. It's at the top of the pole. We have philodendron glorious. This leaf is pretty big on this plant. And I love it. I love glorious. It's working on a new leaf right here. Oh gosh, I thought that pole was gonna fall. Like, don't fall on me. And then I also have majestic right down here. Again, another huge leaf. Like, that is insane, right? That's why I have such a hard time with these big plants because I love them so much. It's just, they get huge. If you allow them to get huge, they will get huge and they take over. I thought this one was a goner at one point, but it did grow back and it is way overdue for an extension here. It's like 3 nodes now past the top of the pole. So I don't know. I haven't decided, but I will be making my mind up in the next couple of days. It's so pretty, but I do think I like my sorderoy better. I have my Jessiana down here on the floor. I took a top cutting, so that one I will be potting up. It is right down there. I still have that top cutting in a thing of water. So it has rooted so much in there. So it's definitely time to get that potted up. I'm gonna do that in the next couple of days. And then last moss pole over here is my Mandula pothos. So when I went to extend last time, I left the pole empty, but the bottom half is still moss. So I will be getting rid of this bottom section and transferring her all the way off and probably on a core pole. The leaves have gotten pretty big. This is a new one that's still kind of unfurling here. Beautiful, beautiful epipremnum. I love Mandula. I have a trailing basket in the other room that I take propagations from. But yeah, I chopped her not too long ago, so she's not too tall. All this here, I propagated all the bottom half up. But yeah, that's her top half. It is going to be really weird coming in here and not having these huge poles. They're all going to be like really short to the ground, like top cuts. It's going to be really weird. I know they'll all like grow back to this size and be like tall plants, you know, once I get them on a stake or core pole. It's just going to be weird having them all chopped at once, I guess. I'm a little like sad and anxious about it, but I'm excited about it in a way. So yeah, I'm ready to get it done tomorrow and the next day. Here on top of my cabinet, I have my very old Hoya linearis. This one's been in my collection for a while. I just kind of have it trailing down on the side of the cabinet. It has not bloomed yet, but I'm hoping it will at some point. Eventually, when I get my Hoyas together, I will have that one trail down the side, probably of a plant shelf. And then up here, I put one of my Frydecks that I was growing out. This was like a corm. I had accidentally underwatered it, so it only has 2 leaves right now. Oh, that one's pretty white, but I'm letting that one grow back. I have a Watsoniana there, and then also a pink dragon. I feel like those 2 don't like as much light, so I kind of have them off to the side of the cabinet. Oh, and I have a ninja back there too in the back. I had cut a lot of leaves away on the Watsoniana the other day when I was watering. They all looked sad. And then my other one went dormant on me, so it's just like a corm right now. I will have to take some of these plants out soon inside my cabinet because they're getting a little big. This is the new one that I got, the Gloriosum philodendron. I think this is type 2, but it is spitting a lot of like nice sectoral variegation. Like this newest leaf here is really pretty, and it is working on a new one. So I have this one in stratum. I'm going to transition this one to semi-hydro. So I honestly could probably get it transferred over soon. It's growing in some nice new roots. But yeah, that new leaf is so pretty. This is the bottom cut of my Monstera Mint here. This is the newest leaf. And I have the mid cutting as well. I'll show you that one. And then my Syngonium Chiapense variegated is very white up top. I'm gonna chop this one again very soon. I had chopped my other one all the way back, but this one's pretty tall and I don't really have it supported that well. It's kind of leaning against the cabinet, but I feel like mine has pretty good genetics. Like the plants that I've sold of this one have come in with like really good color as well. So I'll probably do a top cut, root that, and then probably chop the rest of the plant back. My beautiful philodendron caramel marble, I think it finally broke the every other leaf variegation. Like this newest one here in the middle has some nice color coming in. It's still kind of like an orangey color. I feel like it's still burning in, but I hope it does eventually kind of fade to like this pretty muted yellow cream color. I feel like that leaf has faded quite a bit over there. It was more vibrant orange. But yeah, I love this thing. I probably need to repot it soon and get it out of my cabinet. And then my two pink bambinos are kind of squished in here. I had repotted those not too long ago. So I love those. I had just repotted my pink black velvet, so you guys saw her recently. And then I have my Venom here in the cabinet. That's the newest leaf. I think it might work on a new one soon. Yes, there is a new growth point like way down here. So I can't wait for more leaves on this one. And then in the back I have a couple Hoya back there. I think that one has done all this new growth since you guys have seen it last. It was those two main leaves down there, and then yeah, all that is new. And then this one here is growing away too. I haven't propagated it yet. This is the Argentea Princess. And I also have a very, very marbly pink princess in here as well. It's finally producing some nice leaves. It was giving me some runty growth there for a while, but I think it was just transitioning over to semi-hydro. But yeah, I love pink princess. I'll have some more that I'll show you that are getting kind of big. I need to chop one of them soon. And then here on the bottom, this white tray is new. I got this when I got all these small self-watering pots. This was a set, the cups and the tray on her Etsy store. I think it was only $25, you guys. It wasn't a bad price at all, and you get all those pots in the tray. So it fits perfectly down here in the bottom of my IKEA cabinet. And then I can just add like little corms or little plants that, you know, I have, and I feel like it kind of saves space too. But I have a lot of alocasia here, and then I have a couple props in the back. And these are the new Hoya that I potted up recently, so you guys have seen those. They're doing well since, you know, getting potted up. I think this one's working on a new leaf. This is the Hoya Lia Prism. That one's so pretty. My variegated silver sword, you guys saw me chop this one recently. It's spitting out some new leaves since I chopped it. I do have the top cut in my shop room. It hasn't sold yet, but when we go in there, I can show you it. I decided to not keep the top cut and just, you know, keep the rest of the plant because I figured it would grow back, and I will eventually keep chopping this one. I'll have to add some water in here. Is that dry already? It is. No. This is my variegated Maharani corm. So it spit out two all white leaves, and then that was the third leaf that had a little bit of green. Yeah, if I don't forget, I need to probably add water to a couple of these. And then these ones you guys saw me do recently. My long lobata purple is growing back in. That was like the main corm that was dormant for so long, and then I have a couple babies that I potted up. This one is a Amazonica pink tie. It was a corm that I bought. It's not showing very much color, so that's why I'm going to stop buying corms, variegated corms. I'd rather just pay more and buy like the exact plant so I know what I'm getting. And then my little varicosum, one of my props is growing back. I'm going to get my varicosum started back climbing. And then this is my Micans prop. This is a new leaf that came in, my Aria Micans. So this one actually has some variegation too. I had bought that new one, and then I was going to keep these bottom cuts to actually see what they would do. And then I'll probably pot these up as a separate plant. And then in here are some little anthurium seeds. Do you see that? I bought these from Tyler. They're his Warocqueanum. I bought 5 seeds from him, and their little leaves are starting to push out now. They're so cute. So there's 5 in there and they have all sprouted. So yeah, currently in my cabinet, it's about 80 degrees. So it's very warm. So plants in this cabinet dry pretty quickly. And then humidity usually is like 60s, 70s in here. So I've had the door open for a little bit, so it's not as humid, but it is very, very warm in my plant room. And then in this little container are my 4 Marantas. I have not taken care of them yet. I have my light veins, my black Maranta, I have a silver band, and a variegated Savannah. So those were the ones that I had chopped that had mealies really bad. They're in a container of water together, and I'm gonna take care of those soon and get them all potted back up. I just need to make sure there's not any more mealies first. So I haven't opened them, I haven't added any water or anything to it. Yeah, they're growing away in there. I haven't seen any mealies from the outside, but before I take them out and open them, I will be doing a thorough check. I was trying to figure out where I left off. I was letting my camera cool down and then I got on my Instagram for a minute. But yeah, we just finished our cabinet. So let me go ahead and do the shelf back here and then we'll do like the main shelf at the window. And you'll see kind of back here in the corner, I have some plants that I picked out that I'm no longer going to keep as like a mother plant slash plant in my plant room. I have a couple that I'm gonna plant outside, and then I have some that I'm gonna break down and, you know, cut away the leaves, and then I'll just take the nodes and grow them as like a small plant. But yeah, I'll make a video, like a downsizing video, and I'll kind of go more detail into the plants there. I did this the other day while I was watering. I just haven't taken care of them. So I'll probably do this video after I get done with my moss poles. And so you guys have seen this shelf a lot. I have a lot of my bigger plants there up top. And then I kind of squeeze some other plants on some of these other shelves that anywhere I can fit, because my issue is these plants get too big and then I don't have any room for them. That's my problem. They just get too huge. Like xoxo there. Could you imagine if I had all my plants like xoxo? There's no way. So I put my elbow regal shields there up top. I did have it on the floor, but it was kind of getting in the way and I almost knocked it over a couple of times. So I have it up there for right now, kind of back there, and then it gets some light from the grow light there. Heterophylla is doing well since the whole separating thing. I do have some browning tips, and I think one leaf yellowed off. But it's doing well. It's actually pushing some new growth in the back that you can't really see. And then it might be blooming too. I see a bloom. Oh well, maybe it's happy it's blooming. So, but it's done well. And then my Capria here is freaking huge. I cut so many blooms off, you guys. It had went through a major bloom cycle, and then it looks like this leaf is stuck. Don't get those clips, because this is what happens. It's gonna like strangle the leaf and then it won't be able to get up out of there. Yeah, you can't even see. It has so many leaves. It's gotten huge. I do need to upsize that one pretty soon. It is outgrown that 7-inch, so I probably need to go up to like a 10-inch or something. And then here, this one is a pink poly. It's low variegation. I do want to replace this one with a more variegated one. I have grown some corms out from her. I feel like they've come in with more on the lower side variegation. So I'm probably not going to keep this one in my collection. I would like to replace it, but I do want the Amazonica as well, like a really variegated specimen. But yeah, that's an example of what mine looks like. I have a Florida Ghost right here. It spit out a couple leaves here and there. I have chopped it a couple of times. That's the last time I chopped it there. This one's on a moss pole as well, but I will, that's not going to be my priority to take off because I don't really use that as a moss pole. All these here are like original leaves. These leaves are like a couple years old at least. Some of these more minty ones. I honestly would love to chop this one down further on the node. I might eventually just take a cutting and save it for me and regrow it, but since I don't really treat that as a moss pole, I just come in here and water it when I water these plants like once a week. So I feel like that one's fine to leave for right now. I have this huge philodendron SP Columbia. I think that's the newest leaf, you guys. Again, it's another huge freaking plant. Look how big it is. It is insane. It is going to grow up to be just like xoxo. I don't know where I'm going to put that. Honestly, I'll have to put it behind me where one of the moss poles are since I'm consolidating those. But yeah, so far it fits right there. So it's probably got like another leaf or two, and then I'll have to take it down. I am going to be making a begonia terrarium very soon, but I have a couple begonias in here. I forget the name of this one because you guys haven't seen that one yet. And then this is the newer one that I got in January. Look at all those cute blooms. Look how pretty they are. It's grown so much. So I had that one actually in there, and then it got too big, so I moved that one into here. And then this one, there is a hole here. And then I came in one day, I guess I didn't realize it, but because of this hole, it dries actually fairly decently. Like it dries out because it's so warm in my plant room, that I came in here one day and these guys were both severely drooping. I was like so upset. This one took the biggest hit because it was very dry, but it is pushing some new leaves again. I think this is a Sarawak, a pink spot Sarawak or something. And then look at that cute little bloom. It's so pretty. So this one is going to get the more humidity for right now. All these require more humidity. So when I set my begonia terrarium up, I might add like a couple others into there, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll take a day and do that for this coming month. My dragon scales, I struggle with these alocasia. I have the variegated and regular right there. And then I have the silver dragon down there in the back because if I move it forward, it's going to hit the grow light. I have a huge leaf on that one. And then I have my regular black velvet and my Maharani kind of stuffed back here. And then this is my Syngonium Batik Alba variegated. And then this is the new Micans here. I kind of put it off to the side right here. It's spitting out some new leaves that look to be pretty variegated. So I'm just gonna let it see. I'm gonna let it see what it does, but it doesn't look like the pink is continuing at all. My Rhaphidophora tetrasperma is climbing the wall back there. I'm probably just gonna let that one do its thing. I have the variegated one. It's out there in the east window. So I like that this one's kind of doing its own thing back here. It doesn't really get as much light, but oh well, it's still growing. And then I have a couple monsteras. I moved them here. This is the one, this is supposed to be the Monstera alba white tiger. That's the newest leaf. I did show this one recently in the Aroid Market update. It's pretty white coming in. That is the bottom cut here of one of my highly variegated albos. Let's see if I can move it. Yeah, and it looks like a lot of the new growth is coming in pretty white. So that's the issue I have with a lot of these monsteras. They come in white after you chop them, or like it just like randomly does that. But I have the top cut at the window, so if this one grows in all white, I guess oh well, because I still have the top section. Here is a red Anderson that I was going to sell, but then it was growing so beautifully that I decided to keep it. I put it into pot not that long ago, so this leaf might not do well. It's actually a little stuck. Oh no. It's doing the... I don't like to help them anymore. I don't want to break it or damage it. Oh, okay. That made me nervous. And then this was mine that I had originally potted up, and then it looks like this one's going to be nicely variegated as well. So I have two red Anderson here. I eventually will probably only keep one, but I have them both here for now. And this is my regular Watsoniana. It's just a stump. It just went dormant. It actually fell when my regular Regal Shield was in here. It was in front of my Regal Shields on the top shelf, and then it fell when my Regal Shields fell. And, you know, it knocked it out of the pot, and I think it just stressed it, and then the entire plant just shocked and dropped all the leaves. This is the Paraiso Verde Albo variegated that I found at my grocery store. I had it by the window, but then I had too many plants there, so I moved it back. That's the newest leaf. It's not as white. I don't really love this philodendron, and I just bought it because it was so cheap and it was like an albo variegation. So I think I will chop it back and probably just sell it. I'll just do like individual cuttings, and then once they regrow, I'll just sell the plant. So I'm probably going to do that soon. I was just kind of letting it settle in, but it looks like it's stabilized and stuff. I just don't want the muted variegation. I have a few plants down in here. This Yucatan Princess, this is the one that rotted and then I grew it back. And so it's a lot more variegated than my other one. And then this one was in my cabinet, but these guys get huge. I just moved it out not that long ago. This one is more sensitive. It browns a lot, I guess because of the variegated parts. So just something to keep in mind. It gets edema and stuff pretty quickly. And then I have a Philodendron Florida Beauty that is spitting out so much variegation. So the original leaves here, I had chopped it, you know, to prop it, and then, yeah, I had chopped it, and then the growth came in reverted. So I chopped it again, it came in reverted, and I chopped it again. And then a new node formed with variegation. So this one here, I think, is all variegated. So now watch it probably do like all variegation. Instead of coming in all green, it's gonna come in like all variegated. But yeah, I love that leaf, it's so pretty. And then I have a Monstera Lechtheriana variegated. I've been chopping that one back a lot to make some baby plants. This pink princess here is going to get chopped at some point. I think I'm going to focus on my moss pulls for now, but I will chop this probably in the summer sometime. So I had this light here, like shining on it, like that, and then it was getting too close, so I moved it off to the side down here. But since it was under more light, you can see that it's brought out the natural variegation, like that's in this plant, like genetically. You can see there, look, that's the newest leaf. But all this here, this bright pink has come out under more light. I mean, it still had really good color, like a lot of these leaves down here. But ever since I moved it under more light, it's definitely shown more, for sure. So if your pink princess has good genetics and it's not showing as much, definitely give it more light because it should come out. But it is super long. It's like all the way down there. But I moved this light here off of it to land down here on this Monstera albo. That's the bottom cut of my big plant at the window. And so all this new growth has come in, which a lot of it is pretty white. Like that's an all white leaf. There's 2 stems in here. But it was doing this like weird ruffling thing, which was very pretty and unique. But hopefully it continues to not push all white. I think that's the newer leaf here too. But yeah, that's like the bottom cut of the big plant. You can see where I had chopped it down there. So it's coming in with some good color. My Philodendron Tortum, I had done that one recently. It shot out a new leaf since putting it into pond right there. So that's doing well. This Thai, I really need to repot. I put my second one outside, but this is my bigger one that I grew from a node that wants to crawl. So it's got some older leaves back there and then some of the bigger leaves. But yeah, I need to take care of that soon. And my Michelitziana is doing well since the whole repot situation. I had chopped it again, or like repotted it with the whole ant thing coming back, but it's pushed a lot of new leaves. Like a lot of those are new. So it's gonna get a huge plant again in no time. Some of the original leaves that didn't yellow off are starting to yellow a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely stabilized and it's doing well and everything. So I'm just happy that it's not like this massive plant right now because it just really needed tamed. So I'm kind of glad that I chopped it back in a way. And then I also have my regular Philodendron gloriosum kind of stuff down here. It's got some leaves there. And yeah, there's a couple vines. So there's a couple, I think that's a new leaf. And I thought there was another new leaf that's gonna come in soon. But yeah, that's back there. And then I have one of my variegated Fridex here. This is one that kind of shocked and it dropped like all of its leaves, but that one's pushed back. And then of course you guys know big Philodendron El Choco Red, it's massive. So I have noticed some browning on some of these lower leaves. And so the new leaf that came in is actually quite small. So I'm thinking, 1, it's root bound and it needs an upsize. Or 2, I underwatered it, or I'm just not watering it enough or feeding it enough, or it could be a combination of both. But the newest leaf you can't even see, it's kind of hidden back here. It is just a bit smaller though. It's still like a huge leaf, but I have noticed that it did size down. So I'm thinking it is root bound, but you guys, I think I might want to chop it. Oh wait, is that a flower? What is that? Oh, you guys, I think it's a flower. Oh, it is. That is so cool. Oh, I'll have to share that. I did not see that it was producing a flower bloom. That's crazy. For such a big plant, it's so little. Look how tiny it is. Oh, that's so cool. Maybe that's why the leaf is smaller, actually. Okay, so maybe it's not root bound. It's smaller because it's producing a flower. I had not noticed it was going to flower. That's cool. I'll have to keep my eye on that. Because when my Adansonii flowered, you see like that leaf compared to that leaf back there. That was like the leaf that came out right after it flowered. It was so tiny. But yeah, what I was saying before I saw that is I was thinking about maybe chopping it soon. I don't know. I might air layer it and do like a top cut. But right now I'm enjoying her. She's beautiful. And then quickly before I have to change my battery, those two Syndapsis there, my Jade Satin and Exotica, had those for a while. Every time they get long, I cut them back and make props and then make some baby plants to list. And then I shared that one recently in my Aroid Market update. And then this here is the mid cut of my Monstera Mint. It pushed out a leaf that has a fenestration there. So I'm going to keep that one and the bottom cut in my cabinet. All right, I am back. We just have this window section to do in here and then we'll move on. I have my Monstera Mint Noid right here. Let me see if I can get back so you can see her. Look how pretty. She's huge. So this is the newest leaf here. It is a half moon. It is beautiful, very large, gorgeous. And so this is the leaf before. It seems to be doing like every other leaf variegation. All those down there, very beautiful. And then I have a core pole for support, and you know, she's in pond. I had upsized her not too long ago. It's probably been 2-3 months or so at least. So yeah, I'll probably next go up to a 10 by 11. This is a 9 by 8 when she outgrows it, but I'll have to extend this soon to the core pole. But yeah, she's doing very well. Love this plant so much. Okay, I adjusted my brightness a little bit. So yeah, Monstera Mint sits down here on the floor in front of this grow light, and so far so good. I was eventually going to move her up here at the window, but I kind of like seeing the front side of her, and she seems really happy, like she doesn't mind being in front of a grow light or anything. So yeah, she's beautiful. I love her. She's kind of blocking Micholitziana a little bit though. This corner is just chaos. I would love to clean up this corner and everything. Like I don't even really use that shelf in that corner, but we'll see. I'll probably rearrange once I get all my poles chopped and everything. And then here at the window are most of my other Monsteras. I have my huge Monstera Albo, the top half on the left there, and then my huge Monstera Aria on the right. And then I have some other little starter Monsteras in the middle. I have an Alocasia, Pink Princess, and my Monstera Flame here as well. Let me see if I can move this Monstera Albo so you can see her front side a little bit. All right, I backed up a little bit, but yeah, she is beautiful. Some of the newer leaves have come in with more green, I've noticed, than more white. So I hope that, you know, she continues to spit these beautiful variegated leaves here out. I think there's one side that is more green this side, and then there's one side that's more variegated. I think this is a newer leaf here, and then this one was the most recent. It has like a chunk of white at the top. And this leaf here was my favorite leaf. That's kind of why I have her turn this way, because this one is so beautiful. Like, look at those splits. Gorgeous, gorgeous Monstera. And then I forgot I have my little ping dish here. So I have underwatered this a few times, I know. But so far the pinks are all doing well. I feel like the pink ones have lost their vibrant color, which is so weird because it gets sun here for the most part. So hopefully, you know, the pink will come back and everything, but I have 5 in there. And yeah, I'm excited for those to flower and actually grow more. I just have to remember to not underwater this thing. I'll show you that one here in a second, my other terrarium type thing. But Monstera Flame is here. It's doing very well. This is the newest leaf right there. It still has 3 splits. I know this is so backlit, but it is going to work on a new leaf here very soon. Right here. I feel like it's getting ready to. It seems really happy since I made the transition into pond. It really seems to enjoy it. Okay, I turned it around a little bit. You can't really see it all. It's so backlit showing you these plants. But yeah, it really seems to enjoy pond, and I'm excited to get more fenestrations on this one. And then this was the Monstera albo, the bottom cut that I was showing you on the other shelf. This is the top cut. This is my original Monstera that was more white. So I think, was it one vine or two? I actually think it was two vines, but only one so far has sprouted a new leaf right here. And the new leaf is pretty white. And then this is the Monstera aria that I had potted up here into pond. So I wanted to experiment with this one in pond because my original one is in, you know, a substrate, or it's in soil. And so I was hoping the browning wouldn't start on this one, but I think because it was transferring to pond, this original leaf had browned, and I think part of this one had browned here as well. But so far this new one is not browning and hanging on. So I'm curious how this one's gonna do in semi-hydro. I feel like this new leaf has already upsized quite a bit, and it's only been in pond for like 6-8 weeks, something like that. I'll have to see how this one continues to do. My main one has browned more often than it used to. On the variegated parts, the newest leaf there is in the middle. This one was pretty variegated that came out. Look at all the aerial roots here too. I'm thinking it's root bound, you guys. I think it needs a repot. It's been a while since I put it in there. So I might repot it. I'm tempted to propagate it though and stick it in pond. So I don't know. I don't know what to do yet. It's not urgent. I do need to extend it at some point here. But yeah, this one's not on the top of my list of things to do yet, but it's something to consider at some point, maybe later this year. And this is my Alocasia Pink Nobilis variegated. Look at these huge leaves, you guys. Look at that. I don't think you can see the color. There we go. Look how pretty that is. So it has two leaves right now. A lot of the smaller leaves kind of yellowed off. I find this Alocasia to be pretty finicky, and spider mites love this Alocasia. Just FYI if you're considering it. It's a little bit more on the, I don't know, it's more finicky. I feel like it's very sensitive to edema. The leaves tend to melt very easily. And yeah, if you don't like spider mites, or if you feel like you don't like, say, the Michelitziana because of spider mites and stuff, this one definitely spider mites are attracted to. So something to keep in mind. They are still pretty expensive. I've sold a corm, and then I have several corms that are growing of this one. It's just, they're very hard to grow because I feel like they're always melting, at least the higher variegated leaves. So I love her though. I'm glad these two leaves are doing fine. But yeah, if you're considering this one, just know that it's a bit more finicky. And then here's my other pink princess with this gorgeous new leaf here. It is stunning. This one's in caterpillar now. So it's producing a leaf, you know, out of its own caterpillar instead of the petiole. And so this is a new leaf over here. That's really pretty. It's still hardening. So yeah, I'm gonna let this one grow, and then I'll probably do a top cut on that one, replant it, and then prop that entire thing up. And then on these two shelves, it's a little thinned out. I have a Monstera Peru variegated. All these leaves are new, so the variegation hasn't burned in yet, but it has the yellow. I chop this one so much, you guys. It grows really fast in pond. I have a variegated Burl Marks, and the rest of this is pretty much Hoya. I have my Stromanthe Trio Star there that is growing back, very beautiful. I have my Halo Micans right here. It'll probably be time to prop this soon. I'm always propping this plant to make, you know, small plants from. It has the weird looking leaves. It's a cool, you know, micans and everything. I love propping it. So I'll probably take some again soon. I have my regular green Polynura. I need to take some cuttings of her soon. I have a Broguette there, and then a Hoya Caracia silver. I had added a trellis on that one because the vines were growing every which way, so hopefully it likes being on a trellis now. I'll probably prop that one soon as well. Yeah, and this terrarium, look at this Drosera in the middle. It's growing crazy. It's got so many little shoots. It's kind of like stuck on here, and you can see some little blooms. And this new one that I got is growing. Look how cute it is. I love it, like the little sunflower ends. If you've seen my terrarium like update video thing that I did, you'll see this one. This is the newest one that I got. And then I have another one there that is producing some blooms, and then I have another one right there on the right. And these are a lot of Hoya in this acrobar cabinet. I actually just added, oh, I'm gonna open this. I added all these trellises the other day when I was watering. These acrylic trellises, so I got them all staked up. A lot of these Hoya are like newer-ish to my collection, or I've had them for a little bit. I haven't really propped them that much. I've propped a couple of them, but yeah, I'll probably get these propped soon. I have like a variegated Lacinosa. I think I have a few Lacinosa varieties in here and everything. So yeah, I don't want these Hoya in my plant room for that much longer, because again, I want to do a Hoya shelf. So until I get that done, I think I'll leave them in here, but I'm glad I got them all trellis and everything, because they were looking a little crazy. I had to stand them on like a riser, but I removed it so I could add the trellises. I need to do my other acrobar, those Hoyas. I haven't done those yet. So that is everyone here in my plant room, and I'm looking forward to getting all these poles chopped and everything. It's gonna be so different not having moss poles to water. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm getting a little excited now. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, let my camera cool down, and then we'll get to the dining area, my other cabinets. We'll go outside, check those plants, and then we'll go in the shop room. We still have a lot of plants to get through. This was only like a small portion of my collection, but yeah, I will meet you back here in just a second and we'll truck along. All right, out of my plant room, I just have these two plants right here for now. This is where I had the big regal shields, but it's out on the patio now. I have a ring of fire, which I believe this one I'm going to move outside as well. I have my philodendron caramel marble, which I like a lot more. I love the variegation. I feel like the leaves on this get kind of muted after a while. You can't really notice. But I just like the caramel marble more, so I think I'm gonna move that one, transition it outside. My Tanderosa has been a little neglected. Okay, whoops, I had a phone call interruption. But yeah, I need to take care of her and figure out what I want to do with this plant. I really liked her at one point, but I feel like it's such a spider mite magnet that I don't really want to move it into my plant room anymore, and so I need to find a spot where I can keep it. Or I might just put a plant in my plant room here and move both of these outside. I'm not really sure, but I'll figure it out at some point. Oh, well, let me take you out on the front porch really quick. Make sure there's no wasps that are gonna fly out at me. I just wanted to give you a quick little update. So everyone out here is doing very well since the whole video. I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks ago since I did this. And I actually just watered them for the first time this morning. I hadn't done anything with them yet, and just gave them all like a little bit of a drink, and everyone has kind of situated and fit in really well. The monkey tail cactus here hasn't like been upset or anything. The domino cactus actually bloomed like a big flower, and I missed it again, so I'm hoping the two that are on here will bloom and then I'll actually get to see it. And I think this one here is actually getting ready to bloom too, but this one has gotten so much more sun stressing on it. This whole thing is doing well. The succulents actually, I'm kind of shocked by. I thought for sure I would lose some. I actually think there might be one here that kind of got crispy or something, but everything else seems to have done really well. And this one's even blooming. It's got a pretty little flower spike. But yeah, I just propped them all in here, and yeah, I'm really happy that it's doing well. And then all the cacti down here, I feel like there's nobody unhappy. The little props are even hanging on, and I feel like the bunny ear cactus is, you know, spitting some new ears. That one's getting ready to push a bloom. And I even noticed a small little bloom spike on that one. And I feel like that guy has a new little thing up top, because I don't remember that being there. So this little planter here is very happy. Oh shit. I just saw a wasp. Don't you come up here or I will go flying back inside. Yeah, I feel like that one is gonna take a little bit to situate and, you know, actually start growing some more, but it hasn't been like super unhappy or anything since the whole repotting situation. And then again, with the whale fins, I feel like these guys have done well too. So very happy with everyone and very excited that they're all doing well and everything. I love this entire setup. So yeah, I can't wait to see how they progress over the summer. Get back inside before the wasps come at me again. Wasps are not my friends. I don't like them. Oh, let me quickly do the cabinet since we're right here. You can probably hear the geese now outside. So eventually my plan, you know, is to take over the shop room. So we're going to transition, I think, a lot of my shop supplies in there to free up space. So I do eventually want to redo this entire dining area, and I want to get a Hoya shelf and do Hoya somewhere here. I either want to do the Hoya shelf in this spot, or I feel like I somehow want to redo this space because I feel like we have this entire wall that's not really being utilized that much. So I feel like this is wasted space. So eventually I want to have a Hoya shelf sooner than later. So yeah, my red stuff here, a lot of this is mostly Hoya. Now I do have an alocasia, a Fallopia multiflora variegated. I have my snowcat variegated begonia in here, but everything else is Hoya. And I feel like everyone's doing very well in here. You guys saw my pink capria recently. I had repotted it and everything. This is the pink mint one. And a lot of these Hoyas I actually need to get trellised. I have just the stakes. I haven't gotten to this thing yet. And I showed this in the Aroid Market update video, this Hoya here. I have another Watsoniana that went dormant, so it's just a corm, which, is that dead? That might even be dead. I might just have to take that out. I potted this Hoya serpens into this little cute ceramic piece. I bought this from a small shop and that hand makes these, and I thought this little Hoya serpens looked really cute in here. It's grown so much since I did that. I chopped my begonia snow-capped variegated again, and like I think I took 5 or 6 big cuttings off of it, so it's a lot more condensed. And I have so many Hoya crammed in here, you guys. It is crazy. I definitely need to reorganize this and everything and propagate and trellis. So I'll probably do that one day here soon. And nothing too crazy with the acrobar either. I have a lot of Hoya. Some of these I'm probably going to let go that are in here. And this one actually is going to bloom. So this one is similar apparently to the, oh no, it's stuck, to the discipulae, the leaves and everything, but apparently the blooms are different. So this one here I just have in soil, but there's a bloom spike coming in here and here. So I'm actually really excited to see the flowers on this one. It's called a Hoya papashonii. There it goes. So I'll be very excited to see what the flowers do, if they don't blast or anything in the meantime, because I have underwatered this cabinet a couple of times. And yeah, I have Lacinosa. The blooms on this one fell off. And I have a Dischidia in here, actually, a Dischidia one stripe. I propagated this, and then it's spitting out these huge leaves. Look how big those are. I actually really like this Dischidia. It's my only one that I have, and some of the leaves closer to the light are a bit more sun-stressed. But I need to get this trellis kind of situated too, because all that's just kind of hanging off. So yeah, I need to take care of these, get these trellised and everything, and propped and all of that. So I'll do that at some point. Now here in my shop room, I'm not really going to talk about many of these plants because I just did a shop vlog. If you didn't get to see that one, I will link it. I went into more detail about most of the plants that I'm growing here. And then I have some of my mother plants up here, up top, like on those 2 shelves. And then I also have another Hoya linearis here. This one I'm propagating for the shop. So that's kind of trailing off to the side. I did have it over here, but it was like trailing down in front and then getting in the way. But I have a lot of my Monstera albo mother plants there. I have my Just Sienna, I have 2. I have a Mandula mother plant. And then I also have some Syngonium that I propagate for the shop and everything. And I have Monstera props, tons of alocasia, like this whole thing. These 3 shelves are alocasia. I have anthuriums, and then just a ton of random propagation bins. I have Hoyas, corms, and I have more up top. So yeah, I'll link that video for you if you missed it. I didn't really want to touch on this again too much. I also just potted up the other Regal elbow shield. I put it right here for now so that I wouldn't forget to like not miss a watering or anything. And then here's the top cut of my silver sword. So that new leaf actually just unfurled and it looks to be nicely variegated. So I have that leaf and that leaf. And as of right now, as of filming this, it's still for sale. And it's rooting nicely in here and everything. So it's got some pretty big leaves on it. But yeah, after I take care of my moss poles, I'm probably gonna have like these little seedling trays. I'll probably need like 4 or 5 of them, and I'll just like lay them across a couple shelves, and I'll have a ton of moss pole plants to grow out. And I'm gonna prop a lot more Hoya. I'm probably gonna make 2 to 3 more Hoya bins. And I'm gonna go through these again and pick plants for the next restock. So I'll probably work on that later this week. Now we're into the dining area. Again, I have a ton of plants here, and this is going to eventually be all anthurium plants, and I'm excited for that. I have all Hoya pretty much in the window. I have a big calathea here and a couple various plants and stuff like that, but I'll kind of walk through what I have here and update you. I'm not going to touch on the anthurium too much because I do want to make a separate video when I go to restyle this and take care of some of these smaller seedlings. So I'll probably do like an anthurium collection video at some point too. But yeah, I have a lot of new little hybrids. I actually have them in these containers. They're kind of airing out. They've been airing out for a few hours. Actually, I should probably go ahead and close these. I forgot I had them open for a while, but I'll open them when I show you some of these plants. And I have a couple quarantine bins and a couple other like random bins that are just some plants getting some extra humidity. And yeah, I'll have to eventually find room for some of these plants because I don't know where they're gonna go. But yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna be growing some more plants outside. I love this shelf so much. Well, it's actually 2 shelves, but I love the vibe that it gives here. And then eventually I'm gonna switch out that table and ceiling fixture light because I don't like either of them. Because I film here a lot too, I just want something that's a little bit lower, and I would like that light to be up a little bit higher. So eventually I think we'll get it switched out. So over here are mostly Hoya, you know, in the window. I feel like I've shown this quite a few times, but if you haven't seen, this is an east window and it gets a lot of morning sun. I do have some supplemental grow lights in this area. I have one there, and then there's one here shining on those boxes, and I have like a 3-arm one here. So it doesn't get a ton of light. You can see where the grow lights are shining, but some of the plants like up higher and all of these ones don't get as much light. It's like pretty low light in these areas. But for the most part, I feel like everyone does okay. The Marble Queen has really slowed down because it doesn't get as much light. And then some of these Hoya, I'm gonna be moving because they're not getting ideal light or anything. And then all of my anthurium plants right now are on this shelf over here. I have slid a couple down here just because I don't have room for them. And these seedlings here, these containers go right here on that shelf. And again, I will be, you know, potting a lot of these up and moving them to ambient. But these are some bigger anthuriums that have grown some seedlings. I'm excited for a lot of these. This is a Carla here. That's a new leaf that's coming in. Hi, Chai. And a lot of these ones in here are so small. They're growing a lot though. There's the variegated one that I showed you guys here. This new leaf is like all variegated. Look at that. And a lot of these were freebies with an order. I've gotten like some duplicates, and I have a couple like rehabs in here from Cartel down, that one in a King of Spades here. But yeah, I am excited for a lot of these to grow and get bigger, and then I'll decide out of the ones that are duplicates which one I want to keep and which one I want to let go, because I'm not going to keep all the ones that are duplicates. I'm only going to keep one of the duplicates unless for some reason I can't decide and I want to keep both. I only plan on keeping one. So I have these here. And then I also potted these seedlings up recently. So the ones in the front are my seedlings that I am selling. I potted these up. I kept 5 for now. I'm going to grow these 5 out and figure out which one I want to keep for me. And I'll let the rest go. And then these are some Brielle Michelle that I got recently. They're very tiny. I like this one the best, but there's 4 here and then whichever one of these I end up liking the best, I'll keep, and then I'll let the rest go. So out of this thing, I'm only going to be keeping 2 of these. And in this one here, I have that new begonia that I got that I shared with you guys. This is like the bottom, and then the top cut I have in water. I just haven't done anything with them yet. And I have one of my anthuriums in here rehabbing, a forgetty eye, and I think I have a bottom cut of another anthurium in there. You can barely make it out. And I have my splendid in here because I haven't had a chance to take care of it yet. It was like a moss pole chop. There we go. And then I also have a new begonia. This is a white ice. When I was on Etsy, I came across it in my search and I really wanted it. So it's still in moss and everything, but I'll eventually have to take care of that. So that is in that one. And then I have one more bin down here that has a lot of the cartel down. They're the recent ones that I potted up. I just have them getting a little bit more humidity until I acclimate them out. So I'll eventually like take care of those and move them out on the shelf. Okay, over here in the window, so you guys remember this orchid that I bought over the holiday season? It just put out a new bloom, this one right here. And actually it just started losing some blooms the other day, but these have been on since, well, I bought it in December, so who knows how long it was blooming before I bought it. But I feel like, you know, that's a long time for an orchid to bloom. Like I don't have that much experience with orchids, but I feel like they've done really well and held on for a while. And it's actually pushing a new little leaf here. I have it in the orchiata bark, and then I have charcoal and some pumice in here, and it's growing a ton of new roots. It really likes this mix. Do you see all those? So anytime I get a new orchid, I'm definitely going to use this combination because it seems really happy. Let me move that light for a minute before I burn myself. And you guys saw me pot this one up, this Polynura alder. So ever since I chopped it and potted it up, it is spitting a ton of new growth points. So this was growing all white and I chopped it here, and it's growing a new node on the white part, it looks like, which isn't good. But then I also noticed it's pushing a node lower that is going to spit some green there. So at least I have that one coming in. And then I have a node down here that's growing on that one. I didn't chop this one though. And then this is the new one that I planted in with it, and I cut a lot of these ends, and I have a lot of new growth starting on a lot of these ends. I can see tiny little like growth starting to activate. So this is going to be a really full pot here in some time. I won't chop it again until I get rid of all the props that I have. You know, I think I took like 12 cuttings maybe. So once those like root up and I let them grow a little bit, I'll list all those, and then I'll probably prop this again. And then I have 3 Hoya here that I haven't propped in a while. Let me see if I can slide this over a little bit. I have my New Guinea Ghost, I have my Croniana Super Silver, I have a Lacinosa Silver Mint, and then I have another orchid down there. That was my original one. It's just one little leaf right now. It's hanging on by a thread. So I think I might move it to moss actually, so it can root up, because it doesn't really have many roots. And I keep like underwatering it in that little setup thing, so I'll probably move that. And both of these guys have been blooming. I have blooms on the Croniana Super Silver. I have some there, and I have some here, down there. They kind of smell like Lacinosa blooms, and that one is blooming. I have a lot of peduncles. And this New Guinea Ghost I really like. The only issue I have is this window gets mealy bugs. I have noticed a couple mealies pop up on the New Guinea Ghost, and I had some pop up on that Hoya, and then that Hoya was turned around the other way, and so the new growth was sitting on my Makoyana here, and a couple mealies had gotten onto my Makoyana, so I had sprayed it off. It's very sticky with horticultural oil because I don't want anything to happen to my Makoyana because I really love it, and it's huge. It definitely could use a repot. So yeah, that got a spray down. It's very sticky, but horticultural oil is like my go-to now for mealies, like a couple treatments a week or so, 10 days apart, and the mealies should be gone. They really don't like horticultural oil, but you really have to watch the new growth because none of these plants had any mealies at all. I check constantly, and so whenever I see like mealies have popped up, they're definitely coming in through the window, and that's one of the reasons why I want to move all the plants like away from windows, because I don't want to ever have a mealy situation again, like in my actual plant room. So this is the variegated Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. And this one here, I am actually air layering, and I do have roots in, I think, both of these. Yeah, I have roots in this one here, and this one I think has roots. Yeah, you can see roots in there. And I'm going to propagate this one and make some small plants. And the reason why I'm air layering first is I have a really hard time propagating this plant. The last time I chopped it, I had like 4 propagations and they all rotted. Even the top cut and everything. I had let them callus and yeah, they just completely rotted. So I'm going to air layer, you know, so I can get the roots first and then replant them. Yeah, all these Hoya over here are doing well. My Hoya discipulae, I love this one. It's blooming so much right now. Look at all those cool blooms. I have a section here and then a section here. I had propped this one recently and I've sold several propagations now. I'll probably let it grow a little bit more and then I'll prop it again. I have like 4 or 5 of these plants growing right now. I had propped my Wilbur Graves and I had a bloom on this multiflora. It had recently fallen, and that's the one I got at the big box store. It's growing in some new leaves. And yeah, I need to repot a couple of these actually. There's one down there that I haven't repotted yet. And I think all these here are pretty rooted. I think they could all, these 3 use a repot. So I would really like to move these sooner than later. And then, like I said, I have my huge Makoyana. And then up here, I have my herb garden. You guys, I wished I had taken a picture of when it was like in full bloom, but I had chopped it back because I just couldn't take it anymore. It was so overgrown. I have some in a cup of water. I'm probably going to use these in the next couple of days. But the Thai basil here and the mint was like growing like crazy. I have this cutie little small orchid. I need to get this repotted. I still have it in the original mix here. So I'll have to get that out soon. And then the staghorn here is growing in a ton of new growth. I need to figure out what I want to do with this eventually. Ew, was that a fungus gnat? That was. What the heck? Get out of here. I had just watered this morning, so it's probably like damp soil. And it's still in the original mix too. But yeah, I need to get this like, I was thinking mounted. I'm going to mount it and put it somewhere. But honestly, it's been doing really well here in this corner. I got this at Ace for like $6 because my other one was outside and it didn't make it over the summer because I underwatered it too much, and then I let it sit out in the sun and it died on me. So yeah, I'll get these 2 taken care of one day. And then back over here on the anthurium shelf, I love the second shelf so much with all the colors. So pretty. I have my new Black Widow down there. And then that's a propagation from my Crystal Meg baby there. That's the one that I'm keeping. Yeah, Doriaki Forgetii hybrid there. And then my, oh gosh, my Crystallinum and Potato Radiatum hybrid there. I couldn't think. I love the leaf on this one here. It's getting ready to push another one. I have that one and I have like a couple more. My King of Spades, one of them at least, this is the main King of Spades, is pushing a new leaf. And then the other little one that you guys saw recently is right here. It's so pretty. So I'm really excited to see that expand. And then I have another Crystal Meg, one of my hybrids there that I created. I have my Magnificum here. It's a little bit sad. It's getting ready to push a new leaf, but I had used pollen from this to cross this, and that's what I'm currently selling. So those 2 together are what these little babies here in front are. I got this one recently. This is a, let me move this grow light out of the way. This is a Doriaki Silver Blush, right? Or Doriaki Silver. I got this from Lex, Plant Life Lex recently. I really wanted a regular Doriaki, but I saw she was selling the Doriaki Silver, so I snagged one of these. I really like the round leaves. And I have a red crystal back there that's kind of rehabbing in moss. It had some root rot issues. And then this is a Doc Block. It's a Dark and Handsome red velvet cake. This is a new leaf here. This is one that I got from Tyler. This is his purple Crystallosaurus and something. That's a new leaf here that it is pushing out. It's very dark and beautiful. My Michelle pushed out this huge leaf recently. Compared to the other ones, like, it jumped up in size quite a bit. I have the one that I got at the big box store outside still. I haven't taken care of it yet, but I'll do that soon. This is another Dark and Handsome and red velvet cake. This is the one that I had initially purchased and then it got cold damage, and then this one is growing back. My Delta Forest pushed out a leaf here. And then I have some cartel down ones here that came down with a little bit of spider mites. So it's got some extra sparkle on some of the new leaves. And then that's another hybrid back here. I forget the name of this one. I lost the tag, but I'll have to look on my order history to get the name of that one. But I really like the leaves on that. And then up top are some of my bigger anthurium. I have two pallidiflorums. This is the more narrow one, and this one put out a really long leaf recently. Look at that. Look how long it is. It goes all the way down. And then this is I call this one the chunkier one. So this is the new leaf that's still growing, and it's literally like so long. Look at this. It's like all the way down. Hold on. It's literally like all the way down there. It is so long and it's still expanding. I had taken a picture of these on Instagram recently, and this leaf hadn't like grew that much yet, but I knew it was going to be long. It's so root bound again. I honestly could probably upsize it. Green Mamba, Silver Blush hybrid here. I am rehabbing my queen, my Esmeralda. It was in pond and it wasn't doing well, and so I stuck it in moss to kind of regrow some roots. I was underwatering it, and it's growing in some nice roots, so I'll eventually get this potted into my aeroid mix. My clary put out a huge leaf. Like, look at that leaf jump in size. It's pushing an inflow. I think I might collect the pollen and then I'm going to snip it off because I want it to focus on leaves for a bit. It was pollinated for 2 years in a row and I just want to give it a break. It really stressed. My Mama Crystal Meg back here has 3 leaves. And then this is my Ace of Spades. It has several leaves. And then this is the first inflow. And then I don't know if the ladybug tried to pollinate it. There was a ladybug hanging out on it for a while. But since it was the first inflow, I was just going to collect the pollen. And then I never saw pollen come in on it. And then the ladybug was like walking all over it. So I'm curious if it's going to do anything. It's been hanging on for like 6 weeks or so. So I don't know. I'll have to see. But yeah, I'm so excited for all these anthurium, and I'm excited to grow them out, for some to get bigger. And I'm excited for a lot of these, like I said, in here. And then I have a couple like rehabs over here. I have my regular crystallinum, and there's like a pap, and there's like some kind of red crystal luxurians, and there's some kind of forgetti hybrid there, so there's like a group of them there. And you guys know this long linearis here. It is so long. I'm waiting for blooms to come in on that, but it's all the way down to like the floor now. And I have some of my OG Hoya here, like my original Crimson Princess is growing back. These are in pond that I'm going to take out, and this compacta I want to take out of pond. I had rehab them to grow back in pond, and I think I'm just going to stick them back in my aeroid mix. They had mealies like last summer. And then I think this one I'm going to get rid of. This is the Carrie I don't really like anymore. So I'll probably let that one go. And I'll have to figure out some of these other ones, like I said, where they're going to go. This Chameleon ZZ has gotten huge, you guys. Do you remember this thing? I have some new stalks there with some color, but some of these older stalks are like all reverted, all green, like that. Original color is like pretty much all gone, but it's gotten so big. My Thanksgiving cactus here is working on a ton of new leaves. It had bloomed earlier this year. And then my variegated ones are growing a ton. I have a variegated Christmas cactus, and then this variegated Thanksgiving one here. Look how huge this new growth is that's coming in. It's crazy. So that one's really, really growing. I potted my string of hearts into this little planter. I'm gonna hang it somewhere eventually. I just haven't found a spot for it yet. And then some of these other plants I'm going to be moving to, like this Rhipsalis here, I need to pot up. This Pilea I don't really enjoy anymore. I don't know, I can't really seem to grow these without the leaves cupping and stuff. So this is like the splashy one. So I might move it to a different spot and see how it does. I'm going to get rid of my Monstera siltepecana. It's not one that I want to keep anymore. Those were like the last few cuttings from my moss pole. I had propped this again recently, my variegated hetericium, and then I have my silver stripe back here, my neon, I have Enjoy Pearls Jade, and then my Brazil. So a lot of these trailing ones I think I'm going to move to the bedroom. You know, my big begonia, I need to propagate that. That's Begonia maculata. I have a Syngonium albo kind of stuck back here. A lot of it is coming in all green though. I did pot up a few props of this. So if one of those comes in with a lot more white, I'll probably keep this one and then let this one go. And this one I'm probably going to get rid of too. This was the Epipremnum pinnatum marble. So I had it growing in soil on a moss pole, and then it dried out, and you know, the root system all rotted away. And so I propagated what was left and rooted it in water, and then I planted it in a pond here, and then it's starting to grow a little bit. But honestly, this thing I've had since 2023 and it hasn't really done anything, and I don't really want to keep it anymore. I was gonna see how it did in pond, but I have it here. It's not really getting ideal conditions, like not enough light, so it's not really going to grow that well there. So I don't know. I haven't made up my mind for sure, but I'm probably going to let that one go. Before I go outside, let me just quickly update you on the plants here in the bedroom and bathroom. Honestly, no changes. There's been nothing going on with these plants. The Maranta have been growing like crazy though. I was taking a photo of my red Maranta this morning, or like a little video, because I kind of had it squished back there and I didn't realize how long it's gotten. It's huge and I love it so much. My Orbifolia is pushing out a lot of new leaves now that spring is here. And I have a couple Hoya here, just like random Hoya. I think this Carrie I'm going to be getting rid of too. This Carrie Ice Splash, I don't really love it anymore. It has this really long tendril like all the way up here. And I feel like it's just taking up too much space. And yeah, I'll have to see. And then this guy I forgot to water last time, so he's a little droopy. So I just watered that Cebu Blue. And then I have a lemon lime here. This Cruciovana is growing back here. And then I have two Tenanthes and then a Neon Pothos. So honestly, all of these guys, like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, they all need to be repotted. So I hope I can have time this spring to do that, because honestly, there's still, let's see, one, two, there's four still in the original mix. Like I haven't repotted them. This one's going on 3 years old and I have not repotted it yet. The huge Tenanthe. I would like to refresh the soil and stuff at some point, so hopefully I can get that done here. Here in the bathroom, now that it's evening time, this is a west facing window, but it is kind of blocked, you can see. But these guys do get some sun in the evening, but honestly not a lot of changes here with these guys too. I feel like the Maranta don't look as nice and fluffy at this time of day. The variegated Maranta is there. I feel like that one honestly could use an upsize. I feel like they dry pretty quickly. Oh, hi Chai. Hi. And I honestly feel like the other silver band could use an upsize. That Tenanthe there has a little bloom coming in. Do you see it right there in the center? I repotted these, I think, last year sometime, and I really need to repot the golden pothos especially. But yeah, nothing really new going on. I eventually want to redo this entire setup though. Okay, let's quickly go outside here and give you a little update since I did this whole setup for spring. That's the other dock block there, dock block Michelle. It's pushing a new leaf. So I need to separate that and repot that when I get some time. And Regal Shield, the big one, is right there. It is leaning to the light. I feel like I need to scoot it up some, but it's doing well out here so far. And I'm gonna be planting this one in the yard anyway. I'm gonna plant it on the side of the house, but it's gotten huge. It's getting ready to push a new leaf too. But yeah, I'm gonna get it taken out of pond, planted in the yard, and then, oh, I'll actually have a big container because it's in a, I think that's in a 10 by 11. I'll get that done here. And the ficus is doing well out here too. The new leaf came in a little wonky on this side. I think it's probably just the transition to being outside. But that one's doing okay. I found this caladium at my Ace Hardware when I was in there getting birdseed, and I had to get it because I love caladiums. This one's all white. It's really pretty. The canna lily is coming in a little bit out there. The Dracaena marginata hasn't done anything though. And over here, the Thai is doing well. It hasn't pushed a new leaf or anything. I honestly feel like it could use a drink. It looks a little thirsty. I should probably water that soon. The oxalis is growing in a ton. It's been blooming. I'm trying to rotate it though because it is growing to the light. So I try to, when I'm out here, like rotate it and everything. But I love the purple flowers and the blooms. They're so pretty. Chai will eat this, so I have to keep it up high. This alocasia is doing okay. It's lost some leaves and then it's pushing another one. I'm gonna plant this in the yard too. The monstera is growing in a little bit. This is my big deliciosa. There's one leaf there and then a node pushing up right there. Ooh, a fungus gnat out here. And then these caladiums here haven't done anything, the sprouts. So I'll have to, I really should probably move these to better light. I feel like there's a couple growth points popping up there, but they haven't really grown or done anything yet. I do want to take you outside for a minute here. Look how much the begonias are growing. They're so pretty. I love the orange color. They're doing very well here. I haven't noticed any animals eating them. They're not getting like full sun or anything like that. I just have to remember to come out here and water them though. But yeah, they're very beautiful. But I wanted to show you over here in the grass. So my variegated banana is growing back. Look at it. It was like up to here, like before winter hit, and it had so much pretty variegation on it. And then winter like killed it out. And then it's growing a second one beside it. So this is from tissue culture too. So it grew very well though. I'm very excited to see how it's going to do this summer and everything. So I'm super excited that it's growing back. And my little Xanthosoma Mickey Mouse is growing in too. It's got a couple little leaves coming in. It's like got this weird growth pattern. It's so unique, but I'm glad it's coming back. And down this way we have our elephant ears coming in. We have these planted on the side of the house on the other side too. They're growing in so much already. There's someone else that has these in our neighborhood too, and they get huge. So I'm excited to see those kind of like midsummer too. I want to quickly show you the Monstera that is growing back down this way. Hi, Fred. Look at the little leaves coming in. That's so funny. Right here. I was not expecting this to grow back in at all, but I got some little finnies. Look at that. That's so cute. So hopefully it'll grow. I don't know which way it's growing, but hopefully it kind of trails back this way and climbs up this tree. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. But yeah, I saw that coming back in and I just thought that was so cute. This alocasia here is coming back in. It's growing a little bit more since I last showed it, but this thing was huge last year. And some of the other flowers that were in the pot are coming back in. We have more elephant ears and stuff down that way. So I feel like this little section here might be my little indoor plant section. It only gets sun in the evenings, but during the day, you know, it's mostly shade over here. Whatever I decide to plant here, plants that I don't want anymore, like my Regal Shield, since that one's kind of big, I'll have to figure out where that one's gonna go. But all the other small ones, I'm just gonna come out here and plant them, and you know, whatever grows back each year will grow back. And if it doesn't make it, then you know, hopefully it does, because that would be awesome to have plants grow out here year round. And you know, the more they're planted in here, hopefully they become more hardy. So I think that is it for the Palanti update. I know I kind of whizzed through some of it. It's just I have so many plants. But I do want to do an updated houseplant tour sometime this year. I think once I get my poles chopped, and you know, I get my Hoya shelf, I can hopefully get that shop room reorganized and, you know, get the bed out and move my stuff in there and get my in theory moved over. I think once it looks a little bit nicer, I would love to do an updated houseplant tour and everything. But if all that stuff doesn't happen before, hopefully I can at least film one sometime this summer and give you an update, like a more in-depth update of everyone that I have. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this update. Thank you if you stayed until the end and watched this all the way through. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you here soon.